Welcome to part 4, Ephraim, Israel equals unicorn. Compare Ezekiel 17, Zechariah 5, and Revelation 12. All show people that are symbolic of a woman, a dude looking like a lady, being lifted up to the heavens. In Revelation 12, it declares this location as the moon. But in all the scriptures concerning this lift-away scenario, excepting Rev 12, we see they are recorded as being destroyed. As I have said elsewhere, Revelation 12 is heavily blended and edited with scriptures not spoken in the same breath as its original intent and meaning. Rev 12 does have a good outcome though. Jesus does save, but he is not the babe being shown as born that is symbolic of the Antichrist. So I have selected 4 Bible verses that should be read all together that explain what and who the mysterious unicorn is in their not so hidden agenda. The last scripture will be from Jesus Christ, speaking in relative fashion about the unicorn. Number 1 is Deuteronomy 33 verse 17. It answers the question, who are the unicorns? Describing, his glory is like the firstling of his bullock. Now think about the Anunnaki gods, of course being symbolized as bulls. And then it's describing at least Ephraim and Manasseh as the unicorns are like the firstling of that union of the daughters of men with the fallen sons of God in Genesis 6. Now, of course, you can see that there's some sort of prestige or honor or greatness that is being shown in that union here. But in all actuality, we know that there's a connection to everything that's going wrong within our world. So it's describing now their horns are like the horns of unicorns. With them, he shall push the people together. Notice the word is push, which is implying force, even against the will. And of course, that's in connection to the New World Order. But we'll even get a further connection with the 4 corners of the world, which then would link us up to the symbol of a cross within a circle, which then brings us up to a connection where Jesus Christ described in connection with what people confuse as the rapture, where he would, in essence, retrieve his elect from the 4 corners. And then that's going to be in a connection to that same symbolism of the circle with the cross in it, which is commonly known as the bull's eye, or also the crossed hairs of a bull's eye. Now, I plan on doing some more information on that coming up soon. Let's continue where we are. With them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth, and they are the 10,000s of Ephraim, that's the U.S., and they are the thousands of Manasseh, and that's the U.K. Number 2 is Job 39, verses 9 through 12. Job is basically asking you, are you going to trust these unicorns? Will the unicorn be willing to serve thee or abide by thy crib? Canst thou bind the unicorn with his band in the furrow? Or will he harrow the valleys after thee? Wilt thou trust him because his strength is great? Or wilt thou leave thy labor to him? Wilt thou believe him that he will bring home thy seed and gather it into thy barn? Now don't get confused here as you see the connection with Job describing the unicorns in connection with a barn, a place of safety, gathering the seed to. If you understand the parable of the wheat and the tares, in which Jesus Christ speaks in Matthew chapter 13, he also ascribes bringing his elect and even new believers to a type of barn location. But the key to understanding that scripture is that that's not a rapture that is taking place. It's actually something that's taking place after the false rapture. And then, of course, Jesus Christ promises to save those from that destruction that the unicorns plan to bring upon them. And if the unicorns are lifting people above and even sending them below, this is pushing to the ends of the earth, even in connection to the moon, which is then connected to the terrestrial energies of the earth in connection to lunar gravities and tides and what have you. So it's connected to the ends of the terrestrial physics of the earth, therefore it would be included. And then this is where the confusion is, where people see that Jesus Christ is sending his angels to collect his elect from the four corners, the four winds. It's after they've already been divided and dispersed and pushed by Ephraim Manasseh. So listen close. Hosea 9:13 describes a sinister agenda. Ephraim, as I saw Tyrus, is planted in a pleasant place, but Ephraim shall bring forth his children to the murderer. And of course, Ephraim is preparing a sacrifice. And of course, Ephraim is being fueled upon this ill notion of sacrifice by his grave mistake of racial superiority, all in a negative sense. Notice that Ephraim is being planted in a pleasant place as Tyrus was. Now let's think about Tyrus in connection to the movie Blade Runner. You've got the Tyrell Corporation, correct? And you've got Harrison Ford cutting away people with the title of Ma on their name. And then if you look real close, the Tyrell Corporation is in the semblance of a pyramid at a high location, which now symbolizes itself as the moon. And then you even see that guy Tyrell having the big Coke bottle glasses, which people call four eyes. And then of course we know that the moon is the fourth celestial object from the sun, and it all begins to connect from there. So here is the scripture where Jesus Christ speaks in perfect reflection concerning the unicorns, as well as Orion, Ra, Re, Enki, Lord of the Eye. Luke 11, starting at verse 33, reading through 36. Listen so close. No man, when he hath lighted a candle, putteth it in a secret place, neither under a bushel, but on a candlestick, that they which come in may see the light. The light of the body is the eye. Therefore when thine eye is single, the whole body is also full of light. But when thine eye is evil, and this translates in connection to Re or Ra, thy body is also full of darkness. Take heed therefore that that light which is in thee be not darkness. If thy whole body therefore be full of light, having no part dark, the whole shall be full of light, as when the bright shining of a candle doth give thee light. You truly have at this point no idea the magnitude of these verses from Jesus Christ. This will take a moment to explain, but absolutely crucial. First, notice he compares a lighted candle to a single eye, a third eye. Give me a moment, please. A little sip of my coffee. Okay, when you see this eye is evil, it is going to be connected to an actual word translated as evil that is then translated from this connection of the ancient evil eye, that is then further connected to this first supposed pharaoh of ancient Egypt under the title of Ra or Re. And remember the movie Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner? And then, if you build it, they will come. Cornfield, all that stuff. We've already connected it to the moon. And then think about Kevin's name in that movie as the character he played, which was Ray, right? And it's not hard to see what they're trying to do there. So we will see that Ray or Ra, translated from Hebrew, means adversary, wretchedness, wickedness, everything in connection to the semblance of Satan. And so now we see this connection now as Jesus Christ warning against this evil eye symbolism, even in the sense of an organization, of a type of body, and then even in the semblance of a type of church, in which then we know in the end times there is a true church and then there's a false professing church. We're beginning to see the roots of who the false professing church is with the symbolism of the all-seeing eye, which will then further connect up to Ephraim, who is then described as a cake not turned, which means he's black burnt on one side and white on the other. And then this will be the connection where Jesus Christ says, have no part in thee as of darkness. I'll be back.